Oh, no. My name's Latrice. For those of you who do not recognize this sleepy little face, we're just going to jump right on in. So, last night before I went to bed, before I got in the bed, on my wall, right, boom, right there, is Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all of these things shall be added unto you. And I was like, all right, God. And I read that because I was all up in my mind. I couldn't sleep, right? Still with this insomnia. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to end it on that verse right there. By seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. All of the things that I need shall be added unto me. Went to church this morning. Preacher got up and said, we gonna read a verse. Guess what verse he read? You guessed it. Matthew 6:33. I said. And he was talking about, his title was pertaining to act right. Now, if you're not familiar with that terminology, it's in the African diaspora, trickle down funnel through the south of the United States. If somebody who looks like me tells you ain't got no act right, you ain't got no act right. They ain't got no act right. Bad English, but if you funnel through, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. And in that verse, it says, if you seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, God's righteousness. The preacher talked about righteousness today, being righteous. Basically, what that word means is to be morally right or justifiable. Okay. To be moral, relating to principles. Basically, doing what you're supposed to do, right? In your eyes, to be righteous. But in that verse, it says, seek his kingdom and his righteousness. So it's doing the right thing according to him, right? If you're a believer of God, that's what you would do. If you're not, I understand, you can keep watching if you want to. But according to his righteousness. And, oh gosh. He posed the question today, the preacher. He said, is this meeting the requirements God has set for me? When it comes to you questioning what is God's righteousness? Is this right according to God's standards? Moral of the story. If you're seeking his righteousness, you ask yourself the question, is this meeting the requirements or God's standards for me to be doing said thing? Examples. If it's working, whatever your job is, whatever you got to do for work, right? In the Bible, in Colossians, I believe 3, it says, do everything as if unto the Lord. So basically, everything I do, I'm supposed to be doing it like I'm doing it for God. When I show up to work, I'm supposed to be working like I'm clocking in under Jesus signed my check, basically. Okay. That's the attitude we have to have going into any situation. And that made me think about how in this current season that I am, still in this grief, I'm a type of person, I'm like, if you just tell me what to do, I'll feel better, right? Tell me what to do so I can just get this situation, this process, this season over with, if I'm being honest. I'm just like, can we hurry this up? Can we speed this up? I'm trying to figure out what to do. Then I had to ask myself, God, he posed the question to us today. What are your requirements for me in this moment? God, are you requiring me to do anything right now? Oh, transparency. The reason I want to do something is because I don't want to feel what I'm feeling. If I do something, it'll take my mind off what I'm feeling. But God's like, excuse me, hi, hello. I don't want you to do anything. Just be in the moment. Feel what you feel and feel your feels. Because you're going to have to feel them anyway. Last year, I ran into a brick wall. Not literally, but emotionally. Because I didn't want to feel what I was feeling. So I was doing everything else around it possible to avoid feeling what I'm feeling. But God's like, my requirements for you specifically, Latrice, is to feel what you're feeling. I want you to do anything. Ask yourself the question. If your authority is God, ask him, God, what are your requirements for me in this moment? If it's not, it may not be. That's okay. If you want to come over and be like, hey, God, what you doing? And jump back and be like, all right, God, do you want me to? That's you and God's conversation. Go about your business. I hope this helps somebody. Figure out what your requirements are for right now in this very moment. Specifically from God. That's it. That's all I got. I'm tired. Si nadie te ha dicho hoy, esta día que te estoy hablando a ti mismo, yo te quiero decir a ti que te amo. I want to tell you that I love you so much if nobody has told you today. Because listen, life be living out here. But guess what? We are going to prosper regardless. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.